This is the beginning of part 3 of Blue Dragon. By the way,
Pedro has a
Bossy-
special
Bossy-
announcement.
Yeah, basically, Shiro, it turns out I fucked up again. Apologies to Blue Dragon fans. Turns out it's not Yukiyama-san singing that song. It's actually, Teo?
I forgot the name. Basically, the singer, one of his main
I'll
singers,
get
was
it.
fucking Deep Purple, of all people.
Which begs the question then, if he's a native English speaker, why is his enunciation so terrible?
Because, Pedro, the song was actually made by Japanese songwriters who
Yeah,
directed
yeah,
him
there
to
you
sing
go.
it like that.
But the lyrics are perfectly legible in English.
He was directed to sing like that, apparently.
I guess. All right.
So,
All right,
yeah.
everybody. All right. While we go with this part, by the way, Shiro is still there. Okay, because you guys have to hear this. Okay, everybody. You thought the game it wasn't too bad so far. Well, that's all about to change because this is the part where the game officially collapses. Because the character we're about to meet right after this battle is so terrible that he single-handedly ruins this game for most people. I'm not even kidding. I've heard stories from a lot of people who literally found this character to be so annoying that and considering the game wasn't all that fun up until this point, they just like, you know what? Fuck it. Don't care anymore.
Really?
Like, it's such a terrible character. And I can't believe this is the same guy who gave us Final Fantasy IX. How downhill can someone go? Anyway, were those robots always that weak?
I guess we just got stronger.
Oh, there you go. Sure, go ahead.
Oh.
Alright. No, we've gotten strong.
That was...
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you know...
Da 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 da.
You know, I
Are you
really...
okay?
You know, I really hate to nitpick this. I really hate to, but...
Hold on,
dude,
Joe, but I'll save it for later. Can't see.
Oh, we're doing this. The evil.
Oh, and here he is. Maru.
You're of the devil tribe.
Voiced by the actress who plays Styx in Sonic Boom.
Don't you dare mess with Moro!
Oh, and he also has Shadow
And
Man.
he also has the shadow, yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, Joe, but we're gonna explain how he got this. Don't worry.
Moro, in with that creep!
Alright, boss battle. Go ahead, Joe. What you were gonna say?
Yeah, you know that joke about how we've gotten strong? I hate to crap on it, I really do. It's a good potential joke, but maybe you should have saved it for later in the game.
Was that a joke? I think it was just an observation on part of Shu, honestly.
Well, you know what I mean,
Clue,
Echo.
actually.
Okay, fourth wall humor. You know.
I don't think that was the intention. I think it was just Kluk making a normal observation.
Okay.
I think you're reading too deep into it, honestly.
Okay. Regardless, whatever it is, it feels like something that should have maybe have been saved for later. Wait, I forget. Did they fight those robots on the airship?
I think I get what you mean, Joe. Basically, what I think Joe is saying is that it seems it's still a bit early on in the game to be say something like that.
Yeah, in fact, I don't even recall them fighting many of those robots before either. Like, okay, I know that technically you grinded, but I'm assuming that that's not a line that's given if you've grinded. It's probably something that you get either way.
Honestly, Joe, for as much as I don't like the game, I'm gonna have to side the fans on this one. I think you're nitpicking a bit, honestly.
Well, I said myself it's a nitpick because, again, that's far from the worst thing. It's just like it's, shall we say, a bit of the frosting to put on top of the ice cream.
Basically, too, this particular boss battle is not yet another one where you don't win, you just keep fighting it until the game decides you're done.
I'm just noticing also that his shadow magic thing is the saber tooth tiger.
Very good.
So let me guess, it's Shu's aura that's the strongest, and that's why the game's called Blue Dragon.
Here we go. This is where the game starts falling apart.
Literally, I guess.
Hold on, it didn't already? I thought it was just with the debut of this character.
No. Well, you'll see. Shiroi, you're still there?
Yeah.
Alright, get ready, because this is gonna get ugly. Both visually and orally.
Yeah, those transitions were hard.
Oh, wait, I forgot. I forgot about the hospital part. Okay, never mind. Turns out your ears can still rest a bit more.
Wait, I thought this was the annoying character.
No, he is, but we're gonna get that one big annoying scene later in this part. Not yet. I forgot about the hospital dungeon.
So it's not even just this one character, but it's literally just one scene that makes it that unbearable?
No. It's literally every scene, Joe. Every single scene with particular character is terrible because his voice is annoying as all shit. Combined with the fact that the character... Okay, basically, Teo and Shiroi. I've already explained this to Joe on a private chat that we had, but I'll tell you guys. Okay, Shiroi. Shiroi and Teo, allow me to describe Marumaru's character for you. He's annoying and loud. That's about it. That's literally all there is to his character. He has no character arc throughout the course of the game. He has no personality outside of being annoying.
Not even
That's literally...
Are you sure that he's not just
he doesn't even have a backstory. He doesn't even have a backstory. He does have a particular motivation for wanting to stop Nene, the villain, but the motivation is not that interesting because it's very rushed anyway, so...
Well, maybe he's just an outcast like Vivi from Final Fantasy IX?
Jova, stop thinking of much better games.
Jova, Vivi had a backstory and a much clearer motivation. The closest thing I can imagine to compare it to would be Kate's.
Hey, Teo, guess where we are? In an hospital. Yes, ancient hospital ruins.
We are underground and there's the ruins. Is the game implying something like this is like a post-apocalyptic Earth?
Well, the game doesn't ever... Well, it's just you say that, Teo. Just wait till we get more lore.
Well, maybe this is a reference to a past game that Sakaguchi made?
No. Not that I can remember at least.
Well, might as well ask you just now. Oh boy, I don't know if you can tell me the answer just yet. While clearly this game you told me does a terrible job in plot and established setting, do the sequels actually try to improve it?
I've never played this.
Wait, hold on. This game is sequels?
The original plan was to have two other sequels on the Xbox 360. You know, considering this is a Microsoft IP. However, since this game obviously didn't do that well, as well in terms of sales as Microsoft expected, and the reviews, while good, weren't exactly the most stellar. And like I said, even with this game, Japan still didn't give a shit about the Xbox 360. Microsoft didn't decided to cancel the 360 sequels, so Mistwalker had to do the 2 sequels on the DS.
You know, I will say this though, I get why they would not be so supportive of, say, you know, sequels if, like, we'll per se the game doesn't sell well. But dudes, a first game getting good but not amazing reviews, that's not really a good reason to not do a sequel. I mean, heck. That's like
my guess is because Microsoft cares more about the sales rather than the reviews.
I get that. When it says like, reviews being good but not amazing, I'm just saying like, that's a dumb reason in and of itself to, you know, not try and do a sequel that, you know, would naturally improve. Anyways, this hospital's supposed to be some sort of creepy factor or something, like the abandoned hospital.
Kind of, yeah. In fact, Limatsu's music kind of hints at that. So.
I'm so spooked. Anyway, Joe, in case you're wondering, the publishers for the 2DS sequels were all over the place, like UTV, Ignition, Namco Bandai, AQ Interactive. Everyone wanted a piece of the cake.
Well, I wonder if they did better. Shoot, we don't know what these things do. Don't just go pushing buttons.
Sorry, but you know, I feel kind of good.
What does that even mean, I feel good? I feel good!
Don't you mean I feel well? Anyway,
it looks like this machine can heal us. Of
yeah,
course it can!
Yeah, well, it's the same kind of machine that Chrono Trigger had in the future.
Okay, Pedro, does the game at least bother to explain why some of the machinery, despite being underground, is clearly operational?
It's a video game.
Auxiliary generator.
Hey, Teo, is this typical in hospitals where nobody's around?
Wait, Pedro, what's the HAL 9000 doing over there?
I know, right? I thought that too.
There must be a light switch.
I'm afraid I cannot let you do that.
I wonder, is the light switch that glowing red button? There we go!
Playable.
Wait. They say playable for the Switch? What?
Now remember, Jova, when I'm pressing the switch, you see the animation of him pressing the switch, and while that animation is going, he's not playable.
Wow.
Now that the animation is done,
Wow.
now he's playable again, so the game tells us.
Let me get this straight. The game has to let us know when what's
this room is
technically a
completely
cutscene.
pointless.
Again, again, Jova, to be fair, you can turn that off.
Oh no, there's a treasure.
Yeah, but it's still stupid,
I turned
like you said.
I agree, yeah.
Of course, the doctor's office
So
key is in a
the head
treasure
doctor
chest.
just abandoned the key to his office just randomly in here. That makes sense.
I think we can get into the head doctor's office with this key.
I can confirm you with the hospital leave deeper chests in random rooms.
There wasn't
Hey
a place
Shiroi,
like that.
Shiroi.
Yeah.
Turns out we can get into the head doctor's office with the head doctor office key.
Here's what I want to know.
No
How does he know
shit.
that? How does he
Shit.
know that? How do they know that it's the head doctor's office key? And oh, a ghost.
Because the game told because the game told us, Jova.
Oh, I
Maybe
guess.
it's written on it or something.
That's a Toriyama ghost if I ever saw one.
So, is there a story reason for why the ghost all of a sudden appeared with the key, or is it just something meant to?
Jova, if you're gonna
people saw?
expect this game to have attention to detail and proper explanation of you might as I'm gonna tell you right now, you might as well stop expecting that.
Oh, excuse me if I'm expecting attention out of detail out of the same people who brought us some of the best Final Fantasy games, which did give attention to detail and are, you know, older than this game.
Yeah. And just quickly going back to the visuals, even though the textures in this game are technically higher quality, I still think Dragon Quest VIII on the PS2 looks more appealing than this. Alpha did a very good job with their cell shading engine in that game. Anyway, we're in the head doctor's office.
Okay, I'll admit it is a bit creepy with the music, and the aesthetics do sort of help. So,
Hey guys, we found the safe key on the bookshelf. Man, these doctors are incredibly dumb with their security. They just let their keys lying around for anybody to pick up.
but don't
Why
you
do
see,
we have a
Pedro?
safe in an hospital?
But don't you see, Pedro? They'll never get it because it's in the locked head doctor's office, which they can only get in with the head doctor's office key, which just happens to be in one of the wards. In a treasure chest, which no one
You
will
still
ever
think this
find
is a game, young
suspicious.
man?
I mean,
Can we just play Stick of Truth again instead of this?
look. I hate to say it, but look. I get it. Sometimes gameplay story segregation,
Why do you
but
call something a safe key if you open just a like whatever?
maybe it's the safe in his desk.
Psst, psst, shut up. Shh.
So now what?
Oh shit!
Whoa!
Now that we have
Okay, that was actually scary.
now that we have the safe key, which we open other stuff, so we're gonna go back down.
Okay, so you didn't scare me with the ghost, but you scared me with the robot. Okay, well done.
Well, it's a random. It's a cheap jump scare, Jova, because it's a random encounter like that.
Yeah, but still though, the fact that we got jump scared by a mook of all things.
Well, remember, Jova, the worst things like the Silent Hill movie. The second Silent Hill movies where they try to jump scare you with a Pop Tart.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Alright, moving on. Yeah, this track is fine.
Yeah, this level does do a good job of building suspense, I will give it that.
The problem is that what's at the end of this dungeon is in no way a good payoff, sadly.
Well, I can imagine. Even though, again, the dungeon is doing his job, he's making me asking questions about the world establishing, the lores and everything. Even though, obviously, as you told me, the game will not answer me to these questions, or if it will, it will do in a very pathetic way.
It's not even just that, too. The moment we leave this hospital, the game just forgets about its existence. So,
Of course.
You know, to compare it to an older game, Resident Evil 3 kind of tells a story with every single room or whatnot you go into if you're willing to slow down and check things out.
Love.
Why can't an RPG do that?
Well,
Detective.
especially because it's supposed to. Since
Tail.
it's narrative driven.
go ahead, Joe, go ahead.
I mean, seriously though, I don't get this though. I mean, another issue with this game is like, well, it seems like it doesn't even want to try and tell a story. It just wants to get from point to point. It's like an impatient.
Thank you.
It's like an impatient writer who said, this stuff is boring. But just to make it look all nice and stuff, I'll just do this and this and that. Okay, here's what I actually want to focus on. Blah blah blah. Waste an hour on that point. Okay, then let's zoom for this other stuff. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Thank you, Joe. You just pretty much summed up one of my problems with the writing in this game. The game is more preoccupied with just getting from one place to another rather than actually telling a story and developing its characters. I mean, let's think about this. We're already way over an hour, even more than an hour. We're like 1 hour and a half into this game at this point, around that time. And so far, what do we know about our three protagonists?
Barely anything. Again,
We know that Klook lost her parents to the land shark, but we haven't even seen her parents.
Apparently.
But we haven't seen her parents. We don't know how her relationship was with her parents, so we don't really have any reason to care, do we?
Not just shit.
Detected.
Jump scare.
Not just that. As I mentioned, the pacing in this game is so terrible. We're going too fast without actually learning anything. Again, it connects also to what the character said before. I mean, like, this is like what, the second main dungeon we're in, and already we're going, we're getting incredibly stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's definitely coming into
This is
play.
stuff you say like halfway through the game.
I know, right? That's what bugged me about it now that I think about it.
I mean, the first encounter with Nene, to me, it worked because it showed, obviously, it's supposed to be the final boss, so it obviously kicks your ass, and it sets up for an encounter way later on in the game. Obviously, like game stuff 101, obviously. So that works in this way, but the rest, it's just, no, it doesn't work.
I mean, by this point in Ni no Kuni, we were already gotten to know Oliver, Drippy, and all of these other NPCs.
And random blue spirits? It's a turf battle. Looks like they really hate each other. Who are they?
Hey, guy, hey, Shioi, what do you get when you mix fire with ice?
You get a better, decent sequel.
Sequel.
I thought Fire and Ice was okay, but that's just the thing. It's just okay. It's so okay that it's not even worth existing.
So here's a question: why do we even need to bother turning the lights on, since technically you could just diddle with your lighting?
So we can see that hole in the wall. That's the path forward.
But I could see it even without the lights on.
In that case, don't turn it on. What do you want me to tell you?
Snow Wolf Ghost.
Snow Wolf Ghost. Basically, for some reason in this hospital, there are wolf fire spirits and wolf ice spirits. This hospital is incredibly interesting.
Please tell me you got an explanation.
Shioi.
Yes.
They're asking for explanations. What do I do?
It's not really that much. It's not really that much to ask
I
for.
don't know this game. Like, how am I supposed to?
I don't understand.
Well, sure. Here's a good question for you. You're the J-pop fan. Can you explain to me why the Japanese songwriter thought they should also have the English singer sing in a Japanese accent?
To be fair, it's
for the
J-rock,
boss
not J-pop.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get the bar.
Jovan, that's blasphemy.
If you
Hey, Tail, the ice monster is weak against fire.
Okay.
I actually got what the bar means when you cast a spell. If you manage to get into the red part of the bar, you cast it immediately instead of a delay.
Very good, Tail. Very good.
Okay, so in that case,
You get a gold star.
So Shiroi, can you tell me why they thought it was a good idea to have an English singer sing a song in a Japanese accent despite it having English lyrics then?
Because it appeals to Japanese audiences, I guess.
So, Jova, don't you want to ride your chocobo?
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
No, well, actually, Tail, I'm gonna give it credit, Tail. I'll still take Eternity over that Chocobo song any day.
I agree.
At least that song it's fun to make fun of. That song is just painful.
And I'll give it credit, it does at least sound cheesy enough.
Yeah, it has that cheesy appeal to it at the very least.
I mean,
It's laughable. It's laughable, and that's more than I can say for the Chocobo one at least.
So was Maru trying to get to this place, or do we just have?
Yes, he was. Don't worry, we're gonna get an explanation why he's trying to get in here.
Oh, let me guess. He's an orphan, and someone who took care of him died
No.
here in this hospital.
Nope.
Again, I'm more baffled about these weird type of. I mean, for an abandoned hospital, it would make sense if it goes where like the deceased, the patients, and everything. But wolves, that snake that looks like a caduceus.
Well, allow me to tell you right now, Tail, we don't meet a single doctor or patient in this entire hospital.
So we
Anyway,
don't
sure, go
even
ahead.
meet
can
souls that
imagine.
could have been the deceased of a hospital.
Anyway, the point is some different somehow.
This might be the control center for this whole building.
How do you know?
If it is, then let's check out what's in here.
You're just you're just a bunch of
Tail?
10-year-old kids.
Tail,
How do you know
Tail, question. Do hospitals have control rooms?
Well,
Some
the
do,
electricity,
yeah.
yeah, just like every building.
I just have a question.
Yeah, but do they have actual things that open doors and stuff like that?
I guess maybe a
When
security
the
guard
security
station.
Well, depends, Joe. Depends if the hospital itself needs like a level of security.
There you go. We
or
can use the
not.
elevator now.
Woo!
Oh, for
Ghosts! You know, yeah, now the jump scares are just starting to get cheap.
We're not even jump scared at this point. We're just annoying, teasing you.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, you cannot proceed forward before you battle.
Like, again, maybe this might be spooky if the turned out to be like, oh, you know, souls of a deceased from the hospital, creepily edging us in.
One of the excuses I usually hear from people who like this game is that Sakaguchi clearly made this game with kids in mind. I wish I could get Akira Hino in here so he could smack him for disrespecting kids' intelligence. Because I'm sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hino is of course a huge fan of Sakaguchi, but I'm pretty sure Hino would squirm at the fact that this is being aimed at kids because
wait,
considering
it's
how
not-
much he respects kids with his stuff.
That stupid a story?
Well, that's one of the main arguments I usually hear. That the game is made for. Well, basically, one of the common arguments from both games is that Sakaguchi made this one for kids, and he made Lost Odyssey for adults. That's usually the argument people give. But honestly, I would argue even kids would get bored.
And even then, why not finding a middle ground?
So here's my question then. About these
Like,
kids. Okay.
Brazilian one.
So my guess is was that the kids are ultra super smart. It's because it's for kids, so they want to make kids feel smart, I guess.
No, I mean you can have kids super smart, but give a justification to it. Say like, for example,
Yeah.
wants to repair it. A smart game would have made him say before or shown it before, but he always loved mechanical stuff or he tried to study it.
Which leads me to my next question, actually.
It's a combination of telling and visual storytelling.
That brings-
That's how it usually works.
That brings me to my next question. Pedro, are we ever hinted at beforehand that these kids are mechanically driven? Because seriously, they came from a village out in the middle of a desert that had wooden planks as their only footholding over the desert. Seriously, are they all of a sudden techno wizards or something?
I don't.
I'll say that as a no.
Joe, stop asking questions.
No, I won't.
Stop asking questions for which I cannot answer. Anyway.
I also had to say, oh god.
Go ahead. This is not
I
important.
also had to say that without any indicator of any kind, these maps are very disorienting. Also, the fact
Don't even get me started.
The fact that the inside there is not even any texture of any kind inside of the elevator is unexcusable.
No, not just that too. I'm gonna get the last time we get into the world map, I'm gonna get into it, but I don't really like the way the map system and the mini maps work in this game because not only because there's no destination marker, so it's always kind of a crapshoot. when you're exploring to try to find where you're supposed to go exactly.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind necessarily destination marks because I mean, games were not born with that, and you know sometimes they may get you spoiled.
And that would be fine. That would be fine if the dungeons were straightforward, but most of the time they're not.
That's what I'm saying. A good game designer will went around that and build a map that can give you a challenge, but can also reward any player with just barely enough capacity to understand it and navigate through it. But just looking at this one, it seems very, very confusing.
Question, actually. Is there any point in returning to dungeons in this game?
I guess to get items that you missed the previous time.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of linearity, how is this game?
Well, the game is, like I said, the game is basically a traditional JRPG. You have your world map, you have your side quests, you have your optional dungeons.
Yeah,
I never experimented with... Go ahead, sorry.
Are there any super bosses also?
There are, but I've never really bothered with them because this game is so boring to me that I just couldn't be bothered.
Okay.
It's just because this game it doesn't really motivate me to play it aside from the obligatory stuff, honestly, because it's all of it is so. I mean, if the main course is not that interesting, I'm just gonna assume the side courses aren't interesting either.
You know, I think part of the reason why playing this game can be a bit boring and I think part of the reason why this game is kind of boring to play also has to do with the battle animations. You're maxed out, right?
Yes, New Game Plus.
This is
and remember, he's going insane difficulty to not one-shot everyone.
So you pretty much have all the moves your Horus can do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly... See, here's the thing. Let's compare this to Final Fantasy VII. Yes, a much older game. In Final Fantasy VII, you have moves galore. All the different attack animations, all the different super attacks, all the different summons. Those are awesome. Whereas with here, from what I've seen, character does a pose, the blue aura strikes, swoops in, attacks, and that seems to be it.
Well, to be fair, like I've shown earlier when I used the fire spell, you do have a different animation for the spells, and later on in disc 3 you're gonna get summons, so you'll be able to see old school PS1 unskippable summoning sequences.
Oh, I get that you have those later on. What I'm saying is, like, what we're presented now seems awfully limited compared to what we got early on in Final Fantasy VII. And again, even with that in mind, the battle animations seem rather limited as far as your characters go. I mean, like, let's compare. Again, you can get all the different attack animations, all the different stunned or affected animations, but again, here, from what I've seen so far, and again, from what sounds like it'll be the case mainly until like disc 3, it's mainly
Hold on, Jova. Checkpoint. Alright, Shiroi, get ready. Because after this boss, your ears are gonna suffer.
Okay.
After the boss, though, so take advantage of the boss to prepare yourself, because let's just say you're not gonna like this character.
So what happens if you don't help?
Yeah, you can decide to not help.
You can. I've never actually decided not to help because why wouldn't I? I don't know, but whatever. Huh? I thought they hated each other.
They should, but
They fuse.
so they truly love each other then. And wait, that's it? That's it? No, they're not even gonna try to explain why the two are fused together?
No.
Also, waste opportunity. We could have per species
Okay.
and create an actual server.
Okay, you know, I'm done.
Wow, Jova rage quit even faster than most people.
No, I mean, seriously, look. I've had it with the game constantly bringing up plot points and then not even bothering to try and cap it off. That's just...
Yeah, the character seems to just shrug off stuff.
That's-
Mostly, I don't know, whatever.
That's not only player hostile, that's viewer hostile. That's like saying, yeah, we could explain this, but...
Yeah, it goes back to it. Oh, here we go. I just defeated the boss, Shiroi, so get ready.
Oh.
Alright, everybody! Prepare yourselves, because the game is about to collapse into the shittiness of one character.
Already?
I could literally end the playthrough here. There we go. I'm just gonna shut up and let you listen.
How? Well, that was
we
annoying,
were all
but...
Hold on. Hold on.
What? What is this hand?
It's a handshake. It means let's be friends.
Why?
It's how we greet one another. The
Hold on.
Devi don't do anything like that?
We Debbie's dance.
No. No.
Dance?
Oh, no.
Yes!
No,
The
please.
Debbie dance of friendship!
All
No.
right, I will.
Hold on.
Well,
Hold on. Hold on,
maybe
Jova.
it's-
So, what's your name?
We're not done yet, though.
Maru Maru!
Tell me, Maru Maru,
Here you go.
why do you have to shout so loud all the time?
Maru don't know!
Brilliant. Brilliant, Sakaguchi-san. So you know the character is annoying, and you don't care.
Can we just leave it here and leave?
Maru would
Hold on, Shirei.
never with a
Here you
guy
go.
like him! Never! Never! Never!
So, let me see if I can get the straight.
I'm sorry
And that's it. That's what this character does. And he does it throughout the entire game. We're gonna have to
Wait,
put
is
up with
there
this
no-
thing.
Is there no
No.
more to his character than?
No,
Wait,
that's
wait,
it.
wait,
We're gonna have to
wait.
put up with this thing throughout the rest of the game.
Hold on,
Enjoy.
hold on, hold on. Let me get this straight. This character is the same race as the bad guy, right?
No. He's of the Devi race. We're gonna meet the Devis later
Wait,
in the
hold
next
on.
part.
Yeah, actually,
There
it's
you
gonna...
go. That's why he's here. He's here to find medicine.
Oh, come on!
Oh.
We can't just walk away from something like this. We'll help you search for it, okay?
You know...
That's right.
Okay,
It's better than searching alone, right?
sure, why not?
Whatever!
Tuh.
Alright, everybody, prepare yourselves, because we're gonna have to put up with this character throughout the rest of the game.
Well, maybe if we just have him cycled out, we don't get the cutscenes that involve him. Oh wait,
No,
no, it's not that
sadly-
kind of game, is it?
No, it's not that kind of game, Joe. Remember, there's only 5 party members in the entire game, and you can have 5 party members in the battle at once, so there's no
Don't be
party
so
swapping.
stubborn. You'll be in trouble if another monster pops up.
Whatever!
Well, I guess he has good intentions at least.
Hell's Floor is made of good intention, Jova, and I can imagine the game is about to reach that soon enough.
Oh boy. Look, a warp device. How do you know what a warp device is?
Well, remember, Joe. Well, to be fair, Joe, remember, the robot from the last part taught us.
Wait, the
Yeah, we
fuck?
stumbled into it.
Remember,
ro-
the robot from the previous part taught us this.
No, I'm more surprised by how convenient.
Oh, okay.
It's like we are in the deepest part.
Apologize to the Blue Dragons fanbase, Jova.
Sorry,
I
Blue
mean-
Dragons fanbase.
Again,
All
we're in the
13 of you.
We're in the deepest part of the hospital, and here is where they put a warp device. Like it works for the dungeon, but on a practical level,
The medicine is probably too old. Will it still work?
depends.
So, question. They brought up the Devi race. We have not yet met the Devi race. I mean, I
That's
get
what
it.
next part's for.
Not
I
many,
know.
is it?
I just need to point out an issue. Okay, I get it. Maybe the characters already know about the Devi race, but we don't know about the Devi race. So,
He's acting weird.
what is it supposed to mean to me that he's
I'm
part
sure
of the
he's got
Devi
his
race?
reasons.
No,
That's actually a good point, actually.
Medicine to save his
like,
village.
see, here's the idea. Normally, you establish what a race is usually considered to be, and then the character gets.
Or even better,
why
Jova.
they
Or even
do it
better.
that way.
Yeah, you could. Or even better, Jova. Have these characters not be aware of it, so that way Maru can just explain to them what it is.
Okay.
And by extension to the player.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
This
that.
is how a good writer does things.
Okay.
That's what Drippy's for in Ninokuni.
Okay, I hate
Go
to
ahead.
say it, but let's go back to the 80s for a good example. In Star Trek, the episode debuting the Romulans, we're told about what the Romulans are like, so it's incredibly surprising that they look similar to the Vulcans who are normally peaceful. See, we get the reaction because we're told beforehand what the Romulans are like. It's not that hard.
Too.
I'm surprised there are these kind of trash cans inside here.
Teo.
What?
Why is this game not awesome?
Gold. Because
it
gold-
should be.
I know
It
I
should be.
Pedro.
It should be.
Are you really sure Whis wasn't done like a B team and Sakaguchi was instead focusing on
Lost Odyssey.
Lost
Basically
Odyssey?
how I felt
No,
about
no,
Six.
no,
It should have
no.
been good.
No,
Gold.
no, Joe, no, Teo. I assure you, the entire game was written by Sakaguchi too.
Just because
Whose
there's
his
a
theory is that he was drunk.
just
Even-
because there's a written name on it doesn't necessarily mean he's the same person.
No. It's much like with Ninokuni Teo. Even though he didn't
Tears
personally
in denial?
direct it, even though he didn't personally direct direct it, much like Hino didn't direct the first Ni no Kuni, it's still clearly his creation. I mean, even if Hino didn't direct Ni no Kuni, it has his fingerprints all over it.
Maybe there
I mean,
was some legal.
and Sakaguchi wrote this entire game, and he was the supervising lead creator of the game. It's his company and everything. This was his first game outside of Square. This is his creation too. There's no way around it. Sorry, but yeah. So again, I asked this question too. Why isn't this game awesome? It should be awesome. Why is a game with Sakaguchi, Akira Toriyama, and Nobuo Uematsu not awesome? Why?
Maybe Sakaguchi was still in his Spirits Within period.
But Lost Odyssey came out just 1 year after this.
You know, I just realized something.
Well,
that...
Kojima wrote the plot of Metal Gear in like 2 hours in a train. Maybe...
But that's Kojima. Kojima's the best storyteller in gaming.
I mean, when it comes to actually writing the plot of a game or the structure of it, it may take months or may take days.
Yeah, Tio's got a point. It's like this, I mean, when you're writing the overall story, that's like an outline compared to the main thing.
It also depends on
Would you please shut up?
It also depends... What kind of medicine is that anyway? It's like a pot of honey.
Miracle medicine! Oh crud, he's our way back out!
He's like one of those honey pots from Winnie Pooh.
He looks a bit like Winnie the Pooh if he had stressed out ears.
Why is this game awesome?
How many
Okay, Pedro.
How many years did this game took in development?
I think like 2. I don't know the exact. It was announced back in 2004, if I remember correctly. I don't know the exact. I'll have to look it up.
And Lost
Odyssey probably started around the same time, I think, if I remember correctly. Both games were in development around the same time. Anyway, the point is, yeah, Maru is still screaming, and we're gonna have to hear that. Oh, if you think he's annoying now, wait till he meets Zola, the remaining party member. Because Zola is basically the anti-Maru, whereas Maru is always screaming in this annoying voice. Zola is always talking. You're strangers from outside, aren't you?
Well,
Hello,
like...
I'm Zola.
Joey,
I'm the captain
Joey.
of the guards.
Joey, especially for someone who's named after a fucking cheese.
Hey, Shiro, don't you think that I'm an incredibly engaging thanks to the amazing emotions in my voice?
So, who's gonna be voicing Zola?
The actress playing Zola, I don't know.
I meant for text speech.
We'll see, Joe. See you for the next part.
And now everybody knows why it took some time for me to warm up to Styx in Sonic Boom.
Well,
because the moment I heard her talk, bad memories came surging in.
No, Pedro, you should have watched Mike Og and Lou. That was a better introduction.
Oh, she was in that?
to her. Yeah, she plays
I never really cared much for that show, honestly. But sure, that's a topic for another time. See you, everybody.
So, I just have one question. Who's gonna voice Maru for the text speech?
Well, Joe, since you voiced Styx in Shadow Crystal, I was thinking of you again.
The only problem is that I guess I won't be able to make it annoying enough to be authentic.
No, it's okay, Jova. The actress already fulfilled that quota.
Also, Pedro, I'm sure this will cheer you up.
Alright, see you next time, folks.